Hi, my name is Deborah Sigmund. I attend Bridge Valley Community and Technical College in West Virginia. This is my presentation for game theory and the game I invented. So as you see behind you, I have the game of life. So as the game of life, we have 3 tiers. Each tier you can choose one. There is education, significant other, and job on the first one. On the second one, there is career, kids, and friends. And on the third one, we have retirement, grandkids, and solitude.
We can edit this, but explain each one.
Okay, so this would be before you video. Okay, so for our options, you have education, which is going to college and getting a career, which is a job that will lead to more steps up in a job, not just the regular job that we have on this option, where since you didn't get an education, there's really nowhere you can go. You can't go up or down in the company. Then we have a significant other, so instead of doing either of these things, you may just get married, find the love of your life. So the second is the career. As I explained the career, you can move up and down in a business. You can become even a business owner. Kids are self-explanatory. You have kids instead of getting a job or getting an education, and you live with your significant other. Friends, instead of having kids or a career, you just have friends who you spend time with. Retirement is after all this time, at the end of your life, when you've got all these other options decided, you can retire and just live alone or with family and friends. You don't have to work. You already have a savings account for that, nothing to worry about. Grandkids are when your kids with your significant other are also having kids, so you're now a grandma or a grandpa. Then you can have solitude. If you don't choose friends or a significant other, you can often be by yourself, stress-free. The rules in the game are as follows. There's be 5 teams of 2 people, so choose someone around you and partner up. Choose your partner wisely because you have to make decisions together. There will be no phones or laptops acceptable during this drill. Only communicate with your partner. You chose this person, that's the only person you can talk to. It's up to you two to decide. And then finally, you can only pick one option from each tier. Okay, so for this game, we're going to do 3 rounds. The first round, we will calculate your decisions that you chose together, and the first one will be on who ended up being the wealthiest. And then the second round, we would choose, as we calculate which options you've chose, who will be the happiest. Then your third option will be who was the stress-free person of them all. So, since we have 5 teams, we have to discuss the points. For the first team, you get 5 points. For the second team, you get 4 points. For the third team, you get 3 points. The fourth team, 2 points, and the fifth team, 1 point. At the end, when we have all decided the choices we have made, we will calculate who was the wealthiest out of all 5 groups. The one who reached the most wealth will be 5 points, all the way down to the one who reached the least wealth, which will be 1 point. As we calculate those, we will also decide what we would like for the second round. The second round will be based off of happiness. So after we have all finished and talked about our decisions, we will decide who had the most happiness out of the groups and who had the least. After we decide that, we will move on to round 3. Round 3 will be who was the most stress-free out of all of them. The person who was the least stress-free will be the first, and they will get 5 points. The person who is stressed out the most will be 5th and only get 1 point. I chose this game because as we reach the end of adolescence, we often face these decisions and don't even think about it or realize. As we reach this age, it depends on what you choose, on how much happiness you receive, the wealth you get, and how much stress you put on your body. It is very important that you discuss with your partner and make a mutual agreement on what is best for you. Everyone shall not choose the same thing because everybody has different interests. Some people really care about money, some people really care about happiness, and then you have those others who care about love or being stress-free. So these decisions may be difficult to be made, so you can take your time. As we come to the conclusion of the game of life and we have calculated the winners, I would like to introduce game theory. Game theory is the study of how and why people make decisions. In a game, there are 3 elements: the players, the choices that they are able to choose, and the payoff. As we discuss the topic of game theory, I would like to introduce you to the chicken game. As you can see, we have Max and we have Sam, and they are both heading at each other, speeding, and then we have a diagram. So this is Max and this is Sam's side. If they each go straight, they will each get 0 because in the end, they will hit each other and they will end up both dying. If Sam goes straight, but Max turns, Sam will be the hero because he was the one who didn't chicken out. The reason that Max gets 1 point is because although he may have saved his life, he was the chicken. The same happens except opposite when Max goes straight and Sam turns, as this time Sam is the chicken and Max is the winner, and he receives 4 points. If they both turn, they are both chickens, but they are both alive, so they will receive 3. When they both live and they both get the same outcome, we will reach the Nash equilibrium. Nash equilibrium is each player's strategy choice yields the highest payoff available to each of the players. Now, although one was not a winner, they still both lived and got the same amount of points. As you can see this diagram, you can also think that maybe it was a decision tree. A decision tree is a diagram that decides the possible moves in a game in sequence and lists the payoffs that correspond to each possible combination move. As I had you play the game of life and I had you get out a piece of paper and you wrote down your decisions, you may have also made a diagram weighing out the options you chose to see which would be best for you and what the outcome would be.